Crossroads Podcast. For those who want to be in the know, who's your daddy?
Good morning, Crossroads. Welcome back to Crossroads Podcast, where we intersect big ideas with small town values and make jokes along the way so you don't fall asleep during politics. I'm Stephen Kilfoyle, reminding you that voting matters even more than your morning coffee, and probably less than our sponsor this week. Today, we're talking about why voting matters, especially here in North Texas, and who's running on the Republican side in some of the key races. We'll keep it informative, we'll keep it light, and yeah, there might be some metaphorical donuts involved. Hey, if you've ever yelled at your television during the election season, congratulations! You care. But yelling at the TV doesn't count as voting does. I checked. Okay, today we're going to talk about something that affects your taxes, your schools, your roads, your healthcare, and yes, even the price of your tacos. We're talking about voting. Let's start with the basics. Some folks say, well, why should I vote? My vote doesn't count. Well, yeah, it does. That's like saying one grain of sand doesn't matter because it's not the whole beach. Imagine going into a barbecue restaurant. You don't order. You don't speak up. You don't check the menu. And then you complain about what shows up on your plate. That's how it works. Voting is how you order your brisket, or at least influence the menu. In competitive races, especially primaries, a handful of votes can decide who gets the ballot in November. And once you're on that ballot, you've got a shot to shape policy. That means school boards, county judges, state legislatures, and yes, the U.S. Senate. All start with that first vote. Whether you like politics or not, your ballot is your voice. If silence was gold, we'd all be rich. But we'd also have someone else picking the restaurants, schools, and streets we drive on. Imagine if voting was a lot like ordering tacos. You could choose soft or crispy, beef or veggie, mild, medium, or Stephen's fire of accountability. Now imagine someone else ordering for you every time. Yeah, not so tasty. Your vote lets you choose the tacos of governance, and no one should eat beans they didn't order. Primaries are where the parties choose their nominees. If you vote in the Republican primary or the Democratic primary, both are running at the same time right now, you help determine who represents the party in the general election. This is especially important in Texas, where many races are effectively decided during the primaries. Primary voters often determine state legislators, congressional nominees, local judicial candidates, and county officials. Your participation shapes the options everyone else sees in November. This episode is brought to you by Stefan McDermott, author of Achieve Optimal Brain Health with Nutrition. This is an easy-to-follow holistic guide to help boost memory, mental clarity, and cognitive function with recipes and examples anyone can use daily. If you're concerned about cognitive health, mental, memory, retention, focus, or long-term brain wellness, this practical guide breaks down the science of nutrition in simple, actionable steps. You can grab your copy today on Amazon.com because a healthy brain makes an informed decision, including at that ballot box. Our other sponsor today is that jolly old elf, the Santa Stephen, bringing joy to parades, corporate events, private parties, and holiday celebrations across Texas. From tree lightings to personalized visits, the Santa Stephen delivers authentic Christmas magic with professionalism and heart. Book early because even Santa runs out of calendar space. You can book him on www.gigsalad/the_Santa_Stephen_Aubrey. Get your jolly old elf to come pay a visit to your kiddos in your house. Now, before heading to the polls, there's a little bit of research that you need to do, and you should do, honestly, to help make an informed decision. So before you head out to that poll, one, review the candidate's website. This is going to tell you where they stand, what they represent, what their vision is. Compare their policy positions. Do they line up with what you believe in? Are they representing you? This is very important. Look at their voting records, especially for incumbents. What did they vote on in the past? Who did they support in the past? Do they align up with my beliefs? Very, very important. If you don't do your homework and all you do is listen to the news media and believe everything they say, which you should never do that, because most of the time they lie, and it's a fact. It's a proven fact. You can see it. And they're the worst thing to listen to for your decision to vote. And you get all those mudslinging pamphlets in the mail. Oh, good Lord knows. We've had tons of them. They go straight from my box to my hand, to the door, to the trash can. I don't bother reading them because I research them thoroughly. That flyer is not going to tell me the whole truth. My research will. Understand the office itself and what the position affects. Then ask yourself, what authority does this office actually have? What decisions does this position influence? And how does it affect my local community? Being informed prevents voting based solely on headlines and yard signs. So it's very important to do your homework. Now, if you do not have time to go out there and deep dive on the internet, that's fine. Utilize AI to do it for you. ChatGPT. You can really dive deep and have it look into the candidates, what they represent, what they voted for in the past, what their beliefs are, what their faith is, where they were educated. I mean, how much knowledge do you want to know about that person? Me, I want to know as much as I can because this person's I'm going to be stuck with them for 4 years or longer. And, if they don't line up with me and I vote them in and I don't like what they are bringing to the table, then I'm just like the guy that went into the barbecue joint. He sat down, he shut up, he didn't look at the menu, and then when his plate got out, he bitched and griped. And so if you're one of those people, you don't vote, you don't have a voice. You have to shut up and take it. So see, voting is important. It is your voice. And if you vote, then yes, you have a right. Yes, you have a voice. And if you don't like them, you can vote them out the next time. This is how powerful that vote is. So here's a rundown of Republican candidates in key North Texas races for March 3rd, 2026 primary. These races in North Texas we'll see on sample ballots. Yeah, you've got them in your mail. I didn't agree with all of them, trust me. They had all mine highlighted nice and neat, and I'm sure the Democrat Party people had their people on there, and they had theirs highlighted nice and neat, but hey, you may not agree with them. Yeah, if you don't, great. Do your research. Find out, is this idiot going to do me right or is he going to do me wrong? Do your homework. So, for the GOP nominations for the U.S. Senate, those include John Cornyn, Ken Paxton, Wesley Hunt, Anna Bender, and Virgil John Burchvald. Cornyn, of course, is the incumbent U.S. Senator. Paxton is the Texas Attorney General. Challenge him for that seat. Wesley Hunt is also running for that seat, as is Anna Bender and Virgil John Burchvald. Now, I've never heard of Anna Bender or Virgil John Burchvald. Anna Bender is an IT analyst, and Burchvald is a software developer. I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to look into them. I'm going to find out where they stand, what they do, what they've done in social media, wherever I can find that information out, because it's very important. You got to know who you're voting for. Into the federal House races, the contenders include under District 26, Brandon Gill, who's the incumbent, and Robert Chick, who's the challenger. District 32 is been redrawn, and you have 4 candidates: Ryan Binkley, who's a businessman and a pastor; Jace Yarborough, as attorney and an activist; Darrell Day, Republican nominee from the last cycle; and Paul Bondar, previous congressional candidate. Dig deep, dive deep, look into them. See, hey, are they what I want? Do I want these people to represent me? Okay, that's a very important question. Lieutenant Governor, of course, Dan Patrick, the incumbent. Running against him is Perla Munoz Hopkins, Timothy Mabry, and Asala Vushner. Don't know those people. Look into them. I will. Okay. Tarrant County Judge, Republican primary. The incumbent is Tim O'Hare, and his candidate running against him, Robert Buckner, or Bucher, I think. Local offices like county judges and commissioners are often overlooked, but guess what? These roles directly impact our schools, our roads, and you all know how wonderful it is to drive up and down that 380 corridor, right? Yeah. Whew. Okay. And our community services. All right. So now you know who's running. Sort of. I didn't give you the whole ticket. Good grief. I didn't want to take up your time and bore you with that. You need to do your homework, just like I did. Okay. How do you vote? So you make yourself a quick checklist. First, make a plan. When are you going to go? Well, obviously you want to go after you've done your homework. And since the early voting is ended and now the voting is coming up right around the corner, you got to hustle and do it. 2, know your polling place or get your ballot if you're going to vote early or by mail. We're not voting by mail anymore. We know what happened when that was allowed. It's big screw ups. So bring your ID. That's very important. And it's going to be even more important in the future, as we are all going to have a voter ID. I mean, it's common sense. You cannot rent a car without a voter, or not a voter ID, but without an ID. You cannot rent a hotel room without an ID. You show up, you got to show them your driver's license. If you're traveling out of country, you got to show them your passport. Bottom line is, you cannot do most financial transactions, big or large or regular, without some type of ID. So why not have a voter ID? It only makes sense. You got to have one for everything else. And remember, voting is more fun than doing taxes, usually. Unless there's free coffee and donuts at the polls, well, then we might talk about it being more fun than taxes. So whether you're deep in North Texas or listening across the country, voting is a chance to show up, have a say, and shape the world we live in. Politics might not be as exciting as a barbecue cook-off, but it sure affects whether that cook-off gets a new health code or not. Well, thanks for tuning in to Crossroads Podcast. I'm Stephen Kilfoyle. Go vote and go make your voice heard. And if you see me at the polls holding extra coffee, that's on purpose. If you have a business or you want to make a statement, share a cup and a laugh. I want you on my show. Get a hold of me. Reach out to us at crossroadspodcast2023@gmail.com. Give us a topic. We'll put it on. We'd love to have you. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, stay kind out there, and we'll see you at the top. Bye-bye.
Crossroads Podcast. Those who want to be in the know, who's your daddy?